All right, Rob, let's get right into it. And I don't know that this qualifies as a big game. I guess it is a big game. The Patriots are 2-4, haven't lost to Buffalo in a while. Coming off their first 3-game losing streak since 2002.
It's a long time, man.
Yes.
Almost 20 years.
Yes. And the Bills are 5-2. Obviously look like the team to beat in the AFC East. That's not saying much, but they are the top team in the AFC East. And there seems to be a little difference in kind of approaches. Cam Newton, Rob, is saying that for the Patriots, it's a must win. Even though they're going to be without his 2 top receivers, Julian Edelman, who had a surprising knee surgery just a few days ago. He'll be back, at some point. And then N'Keal Harry, the second-year receiver who they've expected a lot from, but has been banged up most of, or at least half of his career, it seems, and is banged up again. But there are reports, Rob, that everybody on the Patriots roster, or quote-unquote almost anyone, according to Monday Morning Quarterback's Albert Breer, could be had in a trade with the Patriots. So while Cam is like, this is a must-win, it seems like the organization, if these reports are true, is like, hey, we're kind of mailing it in. I mean, it's hard to picture Belichick tanking, but is he all in? If he's looking to trade guys, is he really all in? And I'm going to say it this way, Rob. I like both guys' approaches. I think Cam's got to be. Let's deal with Cam. He's got to feel like this is it for me. I've got to win. Because he's not only playing for the Patriots, he's playing for his career, I would say. And I think he's got to go out there, and if they don't win, he's got to play well. Like they lost to Seattle, but he played well. This is what Cam has to do going forward, whether he's, in New England long-term or elsewhere. So I like Cam's approach, even though, it might be a bit unrealistic without his 2 top receivers.
That's why they call them upsets. They happen in sports. Sometimes, guys step up. We saw the Packers win. Devontae Adams, was missing, Chris. And who was that kid? Lazard, who was on the practice squad, who finally got out there.
Allen Lazard,
and had a big game for the Packers. So this might be an opportunity for somebody. And Cam's approach is the only approach. They've lost. He hasn't played well the last 2 weeks. No touchdowns, 5 picks. It is a must-win. I think he is absolutely saying the right thing. You can't worry about what the front office, and I don't think that that's any different from any team that's struggling now, this time of the year as we get closer to the midway point of the NFL season. And the trade deadline, Chris. So everybody would be, people are willing to make trades. We're seeing what the Cowboys are doing. They're releasing veterans, A couple other teams are making trades and moving on from people. So I think Cam can't concern himself with that. It's about going out. And right now, right here, if you beat Buffalo, If you beat Buffalo, you could take a different look at the season. They would be 3-4, And it would be another loss for Buffalo. They will be scuffling, Chris, Wouldn't Buffalo be scuffling? Because they have lost
like 2
or 3, lately. They haven't looked as great. So I'm with Cam all the way. You just got to go out there and play.
I love this quote he said. He was asked what he's learned during the losing streak. And here he is, Rob.
Losing is not acceptable in this locker room. In this county, in this state, in this area, in this region. So Cameron Newton, you need to pick your expletive up. That's what I've learned.
I love that, Rob. I love the humility in that. I love challenging yourself, looking in the mirror, not blaming anybody or anything else. And I do think there maybe We're not doctors. There hasn't been a report on this. But there may be a legitimate excuse or explanation for Cam because he did have COVID. Things were going well until he got COVID. And I said it on the show. The game, I can't remember what team it was they were playing. Rob G, tell me if you remember. But right after COVID, they came back. They hadn't practiced. They had like maybe one practice.
Right, because they got shut down.
Yeah, they looked horrible. The Broncos, that was the Denver game. And
God knows Denver's terrible. I'm sorry.
Right. And I think, too, New England, number one, let's face it, they don't have a lot of talent. They got a lot of guys out. Even before the guys sat out for COVID, they didn't have a ton of talent.
Didn't they lose 6 starters or 4 starters? Or something?
Well, 3 starters, 6 guys.
6 people, right.
Yep, decided not to play. And we know Belichick puts in often a new game plan every week, right? It's specially made for the opponent. And so they maybe more than most teams need practice because it's not like they're going out there doing the same thing every week. So I thought they looked like a team that needed some practice. So maybe that's been the case with Cam. Maybe it's not. Maybe he's just doesn't have it or what have you. But I think he deserves a little bit of the benefit of the doubt because he was playing well. Obviously, he looked good in practice and training camp because they named him a captain. And so we'll see what he does. If the next 2-3 weeks he looks just as bad, then it is what it is. But I like the approach that he has from both of those quotes. And I'm not against the Patriots either, Rob. I get what they're thinking. I actually think it's smart. Like you said, if they win this week, maybe you rethink it, right? If Cam looks great, maybe you rethink it. But right now, you got to be right.
From this standpoint, not only did you win, you just won without your 2 best receivers. Do you know, like you start to look Buffalo scuffling now. It ain't an automatic layup that they're going to win the division. I think that changes everything. If you were playing a different team, Chris, and Buffalo won, you know what I mean, and you just squeaked by beating some also ran,
right?
You might not look at it that way. But if you beat Buffalo without your 2 best players, and Buffalo has now lost 3 out of 4, or whatever the number is, I think you can rethink it. I think that's legit.
Yeah, I agree. And if not, then I think, look, they're 2-4. Some people are thinking they're really going to struggle, win 3 games, 4 games, whatever. If they can there's 3 quarterbacks at this point that people think are really good. Obviously, you got Trevor Lawrence. You're going to have to be number 1 to get him. But you got Justin Fields from Ohio State. And you look at a Kyler Murray and some of, what quarterbacks are doing now. And you have to be a little bit excited about him. And then you got the kid Trey Lance out of North Dakota State, where Carson Wentz went. So if they get in position to get one of those guys and Cam doesn't look any better, then I certainly can't blame him for that. Because you obviously, one thing we know is you need a competent quarterback in this league. So